What you're saying, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, we have to here, but let me give you the background story. So, the Foundation of Concerned Arts Professionals, we call them FOCAP, has expressed disappointment in the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture for supervising supposed illegalities at the Creative Arts Agency. According to a statement signed by, the Creative Arts, FOCAP, including Mel Kwesi Davis, Enoke Japan, and the likes, they are saying that why should the ministry allow Creative Arts Agency to allow Gyankroma Akuffo to hold herself up as the acting chief executive officer. These are a few of the quotes. This says, FOCAP believes that it is improper, it's unprofessional, it's shameful for the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture to superintend over such illegalities when we have an act of parliament in place. That is the Act 1048 of 2020. I saw Kojo, talking about it and showing the document in the video. Well, it also says the law clearly states the procedure with which the board and the executives must be constituted, and will request that the minister expedites the necessary actions to see the Act fully operational for the full benefit of the industry. The statement further said. Kojo?
Yes, sir.
Minisani.
Sunday, no, yeah. I mean, our issue is just straightforward. I mean, we are telling government, especially the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture, which is a mother body for these agencies that we've created. That particularly the 1048, the creative art industry, we need to, put the act into, to work. You understand? We are not happy why we have president's daughter acting as CEO of an agency that president is mandated. Article 195 mandate him to appoint executive secretary, and it has not been done yet. We see Gyankroma working effectively as if she has been appointed by the president to be working. Beyond that, she has moved beyond that, and also appointing committees, which we feel it is very illegal. It doesn't go with the act that has been established or passed by Parliament. In fact, committees are supposed to be done by the board and not executive secretaries. She has also chosen to call herself Chief Executive Officer and not Executive Secretary. And I don't know what is happening within the creative art space. It's the same way Act 195, that is NFA. Juliet is also calling herself CEO instead of Executive Secretary. And we're all watching it like that, and their powers are more than the board, chairman of these agencies. We think that it is not right. If president feel the daughter is the one that she deems fit to pick up the position, why not? Come out boldly, just as you did to the NFA, boldly to appoint Juliet and then David Donto as board chairman. Appoint your daughter for us to know that indeed he is now the executive secretary and he is working. And then we move beyond and get the board chairman so we can start working. Indeed, we passed this act 18th December 2020, and up until now, again, very shameful. They tell us this is the mother for creative art when it comes to our industry, and yet president has not gone to beyond to appoint executive secretary for us. It is also strange because when we had the 3-member committee, of which Gyankroma herself was part, Gyankroma, Bibi Bright, and Marco Kreku, now the minister, we never saw
the deputy minister, actually.
Yes, Catherine did that. We never saw her activeness when it comes to the Creative Art Council that was established, of which she was a member. We never saw her. We never, saw her anywhere. In terms of, duties that were done. It was indeed Frankie Fife and then Mark working efficiently to see the bill, pass into act. Then all of a sudden, it is passed into act, and then she surfaces, and then she goes, sits in the office, and behave or act or work as if she has been appointed as the executive secretary for the agency. I think that if she is running some private creative art council, or she's running something different, they should let us know, rather than getting into the space where she's not supposed to be. Even creating, or probably getting a board set up, an education committee set up to look into basic schools to learn creative arts, for me was even a non-starter. Where was the board? Who sat with you? Who did you consult? You understand? You only bypass the minister, bypass every single person, and then you go straight to the Minister of Education, and then you discuss with him, and you tell us that the minister felt, and that's the language she used, the minister felt that we should start with the training colleges to learn, or to get into the creative art space, to be teaching our kids. Then I asked myself, who goes to training college to go and learn subjects? They learn, they are master of everything. They learn every single thing and come. They don't really go there to learn subjects. So I was even proposing that then you should move beyond and say that we should rather have it as a subject. Just as we have maths, we have science, we have agric. Let's make creative art a subject and not an extracurricular. Okay? And again, within even the Ghana Education Service, we have a unit that really deals with culture. So I was amazed when I saw a committee done. We had Panjiv, we have my brother Bekon, we have Frankie Five, and all those people making up that committee and getting other people to join. I was shocked. Again, if you even look at your cultural policy that we have up until now, we've not even reviewed it anyway, which was even a promise in 2016 that they wanted to even review. They have not even reviewed it. You check, there's a whole page, there's a whole thing on education, of which the Commission on Culture is supposed to do that, concerning cultural and then creative arts learning within our basic schools. You check, it is there. I also brought you what Obor did, the comprehensive study of music sector in Ghana. When you check the recommendations, this thing was done way back, and it is still lying there, gathering dust. Nobody has even gone for it to even read, to check what really the final report.
This was the 2 million.
Yeah, the 2 million thing. Yes. Said and all that. In the recommendation, it even also spoke about creative art being learned in our schools. So for me, it's something that we think that government should not put a blind eye on that. He came recently to appoint a CEO for National Health Insurance, Okoboy. He did. It means that he hasn't finished doing his appointment. So why can't he, as in the president, respectfully appoint the daughter officially, so we know? Or is it the fact that if we do, it's going to create another brouhaha again? You've appointed your wife as finance, you appointed this, you appointed that. Now your daughter, you have also appointed your daughter on us. So now we have to go on a submarine. We will not allow any submarine to work within the space. We have also heard that letters are being sent to people to be part of the board, which is not supposed to be like that when you read the act. Okay, yes, you need the associations, you need to appoint, and it is in the act, serving at least people from the creative art. Why are you writing letters nicodemously to people to come and be part of the board? We don't think that it is a one-man show thing. We don't think that it is her personal agency that she needs to operate the way she's operating. As it stands now, there are only two people there, herself and Frankie Five. You ask yourself, what is Frankie Five doing there?
Acting positions.
Acting positions. And who gave them the acting positions? Who told us that they've given acting positions to them? If they really want to get us on, then check NFA. NFA was done in 2016 when John Mahama was leaving, 17th of December 2016. We never had any acting because the law doesn't allow. It took us to do picketing at the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture for President to appoint the current people that we have now. So it tells you that we have to do the same thing when it comes to the Creative Art Industry Act. And it is an act. This is an act passed. In fact, we passed this under emergency. I remember. December. We're rushing because it is part of the promise that they told us that they were going to pass it. So if you've passed it, what stops you from appointing? If it's your daughter you really want to appoint her. I mean, then we can now go back and say, or assess. Just as we are assessing Mark and his boss now, we can equally assess you and see whether you're doing the work or not. So we think that it is unfair to the industry, and we think that it is one of the areas that were promised. Indeed, Finance Minister, every time he reads his report, speaks about Creative Art Fund in his budget. Baumia goes around the Vice President, and anytime he talks about Creative Art, they talk about Creative Art Fund. Okay, even President himself speaks about Creative Art Fund. So it tells you that then you had much importance placed on the act. Even though we have a lot of agencies which are not working anyway, this theater agency, blah blah blah, and all that. A Commission on Culture, which for me should have even done the creative art industry job. If you check what the Commission on Culture should be doing now for this country, it's enormous. And we didn't even then have to go for this creative art agency. But here we are, we have it. So if we have it, then appoint the executive secretary. National Commission on Culture has its own executive secretary working. There's a woman there, until Lizzie or something. She's there, she's working. So why can't we have NFA executive secretary working? Why can't we appoint openly and inaugurate the board and inaugurate the executive secretary for Public Service Commission to also go into it, because President will appoint and PSC will also have to accept from the board that yes, we agree that we should be picking so and so as an executive secretary. We haven't done that. Even the airline for this act is still, emotion. We have not even finished. So who brought who to act as CEO and to be disturbing us with board here, committees here, seminars here, and all that? Who is even funding that particular office as we speak now? Those are issues that we raised.
Your concerns are well noted. Let me quickly go to Chief Mumin, and then I'll come back to Kojo.
I feel like saying Oja. No, but these are these are matters of law. These are not necessarily, opinions. These are matters of law. There is an act that has been passed that stipulates a particular way in which, corporate governance in that institution must be managed. So these are matters of facts that, we have to look at. And to the best of our knowledge, there hasn't been any circular from the presidency or any letter from the presidency announcing any substantive appointment, right? Yeah. So so what's the name of the coalition? Is it coalition?
No, FOCAP.
Oh, FOCAP.
Yeah. Advocacy group. So the peeve of the group is that the president should go ahead and make a substantive appointment. Exactly. Even though I, have always felt that the entire corporate governance structure of our creative arts industry, state mandated institutions, even our own individual groups, that we form, like Musica and FIPAC, there's always confusion after that. Since I've been coming on this program, there's always one confusion, either about our state agencies to regulate the creative art industries or about our own association. So it seems we are engaged in this endless, merry-go-round. And we're not actually doing the work that we need to really develop, because we are still stuck in the administrative phase. How do we get these organizations going? I remember when the agency was about to be formed, this concern you made that we have a commission on culture, which has a mandate or a responsibility to regulate the cultural and creative industries, to work to ensure. So if you are forming another agency, is it not a parallel organization that you are forming? How do they coordinate their work together? How different are they? So these are even issues that we didn't finish resolving. So there just seems to be this confusion within the that's why probably some of us are not even very much invested or interested in getting ourselves make, even though it's important, because if we do not get the foundation right, if we do not get the structures right, then we cannot build an industry, because our organizations must talk to each other and policies must be coherent. One of the things that the CSOs always complain about in terms of our governance structure is policy incoherence. So this ministry is doing this agency is doing this, another ministry is doing this. It's supposed to be solving the same problem, but they are doing different things. So they are not yielding to the maximum effort. One of the problems that we have in our governance system, whether we like it or not, is a saturation of the public and the civil service. So many people in offices doing nothing or duplicating their role. So we are spending so much hard-earned money to as it were, manage the institution, and the money that we're actually now supposed to invest in the things that the institution is supposed to do, we don't have that money. So we spend money in paying people, but the money to do the job that they are supposed to do is not there. So at the end of the day, you're say bye. And that is the same problem we're witnessing in our creative space. I think that it's high time that we really make some bold and firm decisions. Unfortunately, again, it goes down to the same political system. The presidency has so much on his lap. You know, today I was listening, I don't know whether it was on this station or a sister station, about how we have more or less an imperial president. The president has to appoint everybody. Everybody the president has to appoint. Why? I'm sure even sometimes when they bring the appointment to Nana go like, so I have to appoint this person. And it's affecting the governance of our country. Yeah.
It's in the constitution.
It's in the constitution. So that's why there's been a lot of talk about constitutional reforms. That can we reform our constitution to ensure that we really take some of the powers from the presidency? Because at the end of the day, so to land, I think that the call is in the right direction. If the president wants to appoint Gyankroma, right? Yeah. He should come out and make that appointment, at least so that we go. I mean, he'll take some flack for it. We are going to criticize him for putting his daughter. Already that criticism has been there since Gyankroma. So instead of surreptitiously or Nicodemously acting, they should make it substantive. So that when we are directing our criticism, because right now she's not accountable. If she hasn't been appointed, she's not accountable. But immediately that appointment comes, we can hold her accountable. In fact, some of us will even begin to talk about how then do we, put the two organizations, Commission on Culture, agency, together. At some point, then we must make a decision either to marry them or to collapse one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. It's interesting. It's interesting. But I want us to go over the phone and speak with Franco Wusu. We know him as Frankie 5, who belongs to the Creative Arts Agency. I'm saying that because I want to ask him a very, first question. Frankie.
Joy 99.7. Joy 99.7. Joy 99.7. 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
FOCAP just wants to mount pressure on the head of state, to do what they are supposed to do. I don't know how true that is, but what I really want to find out from you is what is holding back, all these things from happening. What is happening? Why the delay?
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Happy with what you've just said, that we are going to have a part 2 of this because we need it.
Michael, we need your initial comments.
We need it. Issues have been raised, and legitimate issues have been raised. But we need to understand the operations of the agency and why it's in the state in which it is today. So I'm holding my
All your
horses
comments till okay.
next week. And,
all right.
and Philip Nye, don't run away from this discussion.
Okay. All right. Well noted. Sadiq.
For me, these are very, very, very genuine concerns that have been raised by FOCAP, and glad for the kind of work they are putting in terms of piling the pressure and everything.
Yeah.
This particular government's handling or management or attempt to enable the creative industry leaves much to be desired. It's been it's my opinion, just particular government. I mean, and it's been on and on. And you could see there's actually even lethargy and a fatigue in terms of complaints. It's almost like these people, they won't do anything, so just forget about them. Let's wait. When the right time comes to punish them, we'll just do it. Because, I mean, really and truly think about it. From all the problems regarding the promises that was made to the sector and the non-delivery of it, coming down to this particular one. Look, this act is supposed to be the most important act governing the creative industry. It is loaded. It's very, very loaded. Look, it's the powers that it has. It's actually even supposed to regulate creative enterprises in the country, such that if you are three music chatters or anybody that are operating in the creative industry, beyond the registrations that you have, you've got to actually even be registered with the creative art agency as well. You know, and so for a state that continuously says that, oh, well, we will enable. Look, the creative industry is very, very powerful, even without even the enabling impact of the state. Regardless, if you see the things the creative industry is and the power that is, and I've said it to you, beyond anything else, if I go back again to the NIA's registration, as far back as October 2018, when they listed the top 10 professions as captured in their registrations, the numbers that they captured for jobs and professions under the creative industry was going to about 1 million. So this is a very powerful industry that can still employ a lot more young people and women especially.
Okay.
And so for a state to just have a very lousy approach to enabling it and everything, how long? What's actually stopping or holding the state from having to appoint substantive officers and ensuring that they go about performing their duties? This is very low.
Okay, so Sadiq, I see you have a lot to say. So just like Uncle Ken, hold your horses, and then let's come back to this topic next week. Quick thoughts, Kojo, and then we can call it wraps. Yeah, 30 seconds, just 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah,
I'll wait for next week.
You wait for next week. All right, fine. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
A lot more time next week to discuss this,
Yes,
right?
definitely. And then we're also going to touch on the travel Ghana. Yeah, we're going to touch on that as well. Okay, all right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to talk about. Uncle Ken wants to say some final words. Say again, please.
I said, before you go on,
Yeah.
I must congratulate you for your handling of the show.
Oh, thank you very much, Uncle
I
Ken.
think you've been excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Uncle
in
Ken.
the work, and I'm not surprised.
Thank you.
know.
You've been
Thank you.
a good
Yes,
sitting
it's
host.
been
Thank
a
you.
good sitting for George.
Thank you, Uncle Ken,
I'm
and thank
not
you,
surprised.
Sadiq.
Keep it up.
So it's a form of good joy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're on Joy 99.7 FM. This has been Showbiz A to Z. And we've been talking about the coalition of aggrieved men's gold customers versus Stonebwoy. We're asking if, they are asking too much. FOCAP has accused Creative Arts Agency. We talked about that. We're going to touch on part 2 of it next week. We've been in conversation with Chief Mooman, Sadiq Abdullahi Abu, Ken Adi, who is also a broadcaster right here at Joy 99.7 FM. We spoke over the phone with Fred Forson, PRO of the Coalition of Aggrieved Customers of Men's Gold, Frankie 5 of the Creative Arts Agency, and of course, Kojo Prekon Dankwa. I want to say a big thank you to Philip 9 for solid production and with support from Anita Tay. Crispy K also, did his thing behind the computer. DJ Wobete gave us some amazing tunes.
Joy 99.7.
Just a shout out to the Primal Shirt and Suits guides. Apparently, they hooked Uncle Ken up to the designer sandals.
Oh, okay.
Just want to say hello to the Primal guys.
Okay.
Apparently, they are very good listeners.
Okay.
They are fans of Uncle Ken.
Shouts to you, and also happy birthday to Lexis Egbenya at Ashoma Estate. This is from your friends and family. God bless you, Lexis Egbenya. Happy birthday going out to you. I am Kofi Hayford. I sat in for George Quay, and I'm out. Enjoy the weekend.